All the links to the original posts are given in the description. So now let's head straight to the video.
My wife's sister wanted my wife to be her surrogate mother, but I did not. The story doesn't have any part 1, so let's dive into it. Update. My update right now is that her sister didn't ask. She just applied out of curiosity, knowing she would be denied. So about a decade ago, my wife's sister had reached out and asked if she would be a surrogate. MYSIL and her then husband could not physically, which ultimately led to a terrible divorce a few years prior to her asking my wife. Anyway, my wife agreed before speaking to me. When she did ask me, she told Sil she'd consider it after speaking with me. I don't want kids, and neither does my wife. It was something we both had a hard no about from the beginning. I'm pretty sure we even had a conversation about surrogacy even then, and we both agreed no. The reason I remember this is because she knew of a woman who did it 3 times for 2 families privately for money, and I just remember her saying they couldn't pay me enough. When she asked me after giving me a long explanation of why she wanted to do this, I told her I would support her decision to help her sister, but that I would have to ask for a divorce. She was shocked. I told her that although it is her body and her choice, it was something I didn't want to be a part of. That her surrogacy is still something she'd be at home with and a responsibility that would still be forcing me into that I clearly did not want to be involved with, in my opinion. She and her sister had already basically planned it out. The sister would pay for everything and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. I told her I disagreed. She is my wife, and for 9 months her body would undergo a change that could come with serious complications that involve life of another human being, to which I'd have no legal or biological rights to, of course. She was upset but understood, and I overheard her tell her sister that she can't go through with it because husband said so and they said they'd revisit it in 6 months. I was appalled, and when I found this out later I asked for a separation or couples counseling, being that she clearly disregarded me and saw it as a solo decision. We did counseling, and turns out there was a lot that needed to be worked on. We did therapy for about a year together and discovered individual therapy within that to help with some of the challenges I faced with not only our relationship but my other relationships in my life. Everything has improved significantly, not perfect, but I'm satisfied. During this time, Sil found someone through a program online, and we have a niece. She was over for dinner the other night and she kept going on about this program, which wasn't out of the blue considering she'd been talking about wanting another child. I got curious. Turns out just a few weeks ago, we received an email from an online surrogacy program within our shared account claiming her application was denied. It was deleted, of course. When I asked her about it, she said it was a scam and not worry. I asked her if she had applied anywhere recently or if Sil had reached out again, and she said no. Well, it's not a scam because I pressed into it and they have an application on file from this past year that she filled out. I'm just not sure where to go from here. Not only is she lying, but she clearly wants to have her cake and eat it too. Reasonably, with it being something she's downplaying on wanting to be a surrogate, and it being a hard no for me, is this worth doing therapy for again? How do I approach this? TL, Doctor, my wife's sister asked her to be a surrogate a decade ago. I was against it. No surrogacy or divorce. It caused issues. She didn't go through with it and we did therapy. I found an application she filled out from this past year for a surrogacy program. Edit. Sorry, the serious complications include her age and risks that come along with having a child at 43. I'm reading comments that read this post with a mentality that I'm trying to control. Just want to be clear about the agreements, commitments made prior to our marriage, how a decision was made without having a conversation with your spouse first, and then my wanting of care for my wife going through a pregnancy now. Hope that helps. Now for the second story. How should I navigate kids adoring a distant partner? I've been with my partner for almost 10 years, and we have 2 wonderful children. As much as I love him, his approach to parenting is, well, it's challenging. He's always been more of the fun parent, but lately, it feels like he's been detaching more from the responsibilities of parenting. Our kids adore him. He's their hero. They light up when he comes home, and they always want to play with him. But that's where it stops. He plays with them, sure, but when it comes to the more demanding aspects of parenting, like feeding, bedtime routines, or handling their tantrums, he's conveniently busy or gets frustrated and hands them off to me. I've tried talking to him multiple times about this. He acknowledges that he's not as involved as he should be but assures me he'll try harder. Yet, every time, it's the same cycle. Promise to change, a short period of improvement, then back to old habits. I'm exhausted, feeling like a single parent most of the time. I understand that he might be going through something, maybe work stress or personal issues. I've suggested therapy, couples counseling, but he brushes it off, saying we don't need it. The situation is affecting our relationship. We argue often, mainly about his lack of involvement. The kids have started to notice, and it's heartbreaking. They've begun asking why daddy doesn't read them stories or put them to bed like other dads. But here's the catch, when he does engage, he's amazing. The bond they have during those moments is undeniable. It's not like he's entirely neglectful, just inconsistent. And it's that inconsistency that's tearing us apart. I'm torn. I don't want to deprive my kids of their father, especially when they love him so much. But I also can't keep carrying the bulk of the parenting weight. I'm starting to resent him, and I fear for the future of our relationship. Has anyone been through something similar? How did you navigate it? Any advice would be appreciated. TLDR, partner of 10 years is great when engaged with our kids, but often shirks parenting responsibilities. Kids adore him, but I'm burning out. Need advice on navigating this delicate situation. Now for the third story. My BF told me, we only have sex when I want to. I've been in a 1-year relationship with my BF. We have had a lot of ups and downs and a couple of almost breakups in this 1 year. During one of these arguments he said, we only have sex when you want to. I can never say no to the only person I can go to for sex, implying that I'm somehow selfish and controlling. After some time, we had a conversation about it and I tried to communicate my boundaries. Told him he too should have them. We have been okay, and I don't feel pressured to have sex and he respects when I say no. Still I can't get this out of my head. Am I overthinking? How to move forward? If you like the story, hit the like and don't forget to subscribe the channel, and thanks for watching.